Hey guys, Nikki here. So today I'm going to talk with you a little bit about collecting graveyard dirt. Now this is something that I do from time to time. It's not something that's an kind of like everyday part of my practice, but I use it sort of as needed, and it can be a very powerful and helpful tool if you know how to use it properly and correctly. Now graveyard dirt, if you're using it, people are like, well, what good is that for? What do you need that for? Well, it's really great in protection spells. Some people use it in love spells. Some people use it for cursing and hexing, and some people use it against their enemies, whether it's a protection or whether it's kind of like a binding or a hexing sort of situation. Now you guys know me, I work with more of the lighter energy, so I'm not trying to do anything to anybody, but there are a lot of other people that use it for these other purposes, and that's perfectly fine. So if you do whatever you want to use it for, I want to make sure I help you use it the right way. Now the way that this works is everybody has energy, right? Like I have my own energy and so do you. And we all have different personalities and traits and different things that kind of makes up who we are. And when we get buried and placed in the earth, before we kind of cross over, some of our energy kind of seeps out into that dirt and into that area. And so when you are collecting the dirt from there, you are collecting those kind of energies and attributes of the person who is underneath the dirt. Now, it's really important too that when you are going to collect the dirt that you are very respectful, because you are entering into a contract with another person in their spirit, right? So you have to be careful how you talk to somebody, and you have to be careful how you interact, because there are different things that can go wrong. The same way with human interactions. You know, if you say the wrong thing or you treat somebody badly, they're going to let you know. So it's the same thing with this area, and that's why I'm talking about being careful with you guys with this collection technique. Now, when you go into the graveyard, people do this differently. Some people will leave a toll on the outside as they go in. For me, I usually leave like 3 pennies as I go in, just kind of as a general respect to the whole graveyard and everybody that's in there. And then I will additionally usually also make an offering to the particular gravesite that I'm at. And the other thing too that I want to say that's really important is you want to ask permission to. Don't just take something. This is a contract between two energies, between your energy and that person's energy. So it's very important for you to make sure that that person is willing, able, and happy to help you on the terms of the deal that you guys strike. And you usually, when I go, and this is what I do, so I'll leave the toll at the gate and I will go down and I will pick out the person that I need. And I'll talk about picking the right person in a second. And I'll go and I'll sit down and I'll communicate with them. I'll say hello, I'll introduce myself, and I will ask them if they are willing to help me. And if they are, I will let them know exactly what it is that I need their help with, and why I think that they would be a good fit in order to help me. Most of the time they do say yes, which is good. And after that, I always ask, is there anything I can do for you? Would you like an offering? Is there anything that I can leave in exchange for this, you know, this trade of energy that we're doing right here? And sometimes they will let me know they want something specifically. Sometimes too, I know some people, when they do this, they will go up and they will automatically make the offering first, right? Before they even ask anything, they'll make the offering and then they will ask the question. I would say it's your practice, just do whatever feels right to you, but do offer something in exchange, because I feel like that's fair, and that's a good habit to get into. If you don't know what to leave and you want to leave an offering up front, you can leave coins of any kind. Some people do. Some people will leave a little bit of whiskey. Some people will leave flowers or another token. Sometimes people will leave tobacco. Whatever it is that feels right to you, just use your intuition when you're doing that, and it usually will kind of steer you in the right direction. So that's kind of how you make that exchange. When you are also finished using the dirt in your magic ritual, I would also be sure to thank that person for their help and their assistance with the magic that you are trying to work. Now, the next thing we want to talk about a little bit is which gravesite to pick, because there's so many, right? And how do you know which one you should pick? Well, you want to pick something that's in alignment with the energy of the spell work that you are trying to do and the energy that you are trying to create with your spells. So for example, if for me, sometimes I use protection, right? And that's something that I would use graveyard dirt for specifically. So if I am using a protection spell, I want to pick somebody whose energy has that in it. So I might pick somebody who's a soldier. I might pick somebody who's a police officer. I might pick somebody who's, in the fire department. I might pick somebody who, does like personal security or something like that. Somebody who is interested in protecting and has that bravery, that strength, that those energetic characteristics about them. And, you can do that by looking at, the gravesite. So you might have to do a little more research if you want to do something specific. Certain cemeteries house certain types of individuals, so that might be a good way to look. But like I said too, always ask permission, make sure that person's willing to work with you. Now, if you are doing something more in like the love spell area, for example, something you might want to do is take some dirt from a family member's grave, because most of the time our family members love us and they want to help us and they want us to be happy, and this is the exact sort of spell that they would help you with. Maybe your mother, your grandmother, or somebody who's has kind of a nurturing energy to you, favorite uncle, I don't know, whatever it is. So you could go to that gravesite and have a conversation with that person and that energy, and see if they'd be willing to help you create that sort of love and bring those things into your life. So whatever spell you're trying to do, these are things and energetic qualities that you would want to look into as you are picking the proper gravesite for you. Now, if you don't know who to ask and you don't have relatives buried around you, you can also walk into that cemetery and just use your intuition and let it guide you. Just listen, just ask for what you want. Say, I need the person that's going to be best to help me with this particular spell that I'm working on. And kind of just intuitively see where your body pulls you. You can use your body as a pendulum. There's a great video about that. You can see, say which direction you need to go, see which way your body leans, and use that. And then just kind of follow and see what feels right. And where you kind of are drawn to, and have a connection with that person and see if that's something that feels right to you and if they'd be willing to help you. Now, when I do collect the dirt, one of the things I personally like to do is I like to write down the name, any other information on the tombstone, or any other information that they give me during the conversation that we have. And when I'm actually ready to do my work and I'm using that ingredient, I call on them by name and I ask them to come and help me for that particular part of the ritual. So if you are interested in that, that might be something that you would like to do as well. Now, if you are someone that is very into using graveyard dirt for your rituals, you might have more than one, you have like a little small stockpile of things, I would say label everything. Label everything. This is a trick that I learned when I was in herb school, because sometimes you think you remember, but you don't, you forget. And you want to make sure you're using the right thing and the right ingredient, especially with this sort of stuff, right? Especially if you're someone who's into kind of hexing and cursing, you might pick somebody's grave that has a little bit gnarly energy, and if you accidentally use that in like a love spell or protection, it might not really work out. It actually could maybe backfire a little bit with the energy that you're trying to create. So label everything that you are picking up. So I think those are some good, tips and tricks if you're trying to do this. I think that's everything that I wanted to say to you guys today. If you're interested, I have another blog article up on my website right now that specifically talks about this more in detail. If you're more of a reader, you want something that's got some notes, you can check that out as well. So hopefully this has been really helpful for you guys today, and it's been interesting, and it's something that you will be able to incorporate into your practice if the occasion calls for it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm always happy to help you guys out if there's something that you don't understand or want to know more about. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and have an absolutely beautiful day.